All right, it's time for another Brock Huard draft profile. And if I have everything, if I'm reading the tea leaves right, Brock, this is the player that I think you cannot leave this draft without.
Yeah.
No?
No.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you might be wrong on that.
Oh, okay. Well, hit me with it. Who we got today?
The Seattle Seahawks select.
This is Brock Huard's draft profile.
You want traits? Check. You want a vocal leader? Check.
At the end of the day, you have to say, okay, what's best for the organization?
Can you make people around you better, and can you bring people together?
Every day at 9 a.m. leading up to the draft.
No, I'm not going to quite stand on that table, Salk, and say, like Kevin Costner at draft day, write a name on my sheet of paper and put it in my pocket and say, we have to have this guy. But
No, I'm saying I'm doing that.
Oh,
Not saying you're doing it.
Oh.
This is the guy I am saying you cannot leave the draft without.
Absolutely. ZZ Top. Zach Zinter.
Heck yeah.
Do you know how much this dude's had to overcome? Think about it, folks. Roll call. Bueller. You're getting roll call from kindergarten all the way through his final year at Buckingham, Brown, and Nichols, also known as BB&N. Zach Zinter's been dead last. ZZ, like you got no chance. You're going to be the last one on any enrollment in any class. And he's had to overcome it. His size has helped. He is 6'6", 308 pounds. Salk, he was a 4-year starter at the University of Michigan. It's funny, I told you that little Lisa Bluter anecdote of her eating a cheeseburger at 9 in the morning in the airport. The Iowa women's basketball coach, and for some reason, I just loved it. It stuck with me. When I was at the little airport there in Indiana, flying out of the little terminal after a Michigan-Indiana game in 2020, there was Zach Zinter's mom wearing his jersey, his freshman year where he started 4 of the 6 games, where Michigan got their teeth kicked in, where Jim Harbaugh nearly got fired, where there was some adversity, and he was a starter as a true freshman at Michigan. You kidding me? And that's not easy to do. And coming out of BB&N? I don't know. You tell me, Salky.
I'm going to guess it's never happened before.
How many dudes have gone from Buckingham, Brown, and Nichols to starting their true freshman year at one of the bluest of blue blood college football teams in America? Not many.
That number at 0.
But he did it, and he stuck it out, and he endured, and he got beat up a little bit as a true freshman, as they all did. And then you know what happened in 21? He started every game, and Michigan won the Joe Moore Award as they turned everything around in their program and went to a playoff. And then in 2022, guess what? He started every game, and he and his battery mates on that O-line were once again Joe Moore Award winners. He was back-to-back all Big Ten conference member as a right guard, straining. The one word you hear from Jim Harbaugh and that O-line. And if they end up drafting one of these Michigan guys, and maybe it's the left guard, Trevor Keegan, but you know what they're both really good at, Salk? Strain. I love that word. Strain. You'll hear Harbaugh say it all the time. It's not grit. It's not toughness. It's what being a lineman is. You got to strain for everything, for every last inch of grass. And then guess what he did? He started his final year. He's a 4-year starter in Michigan. And then he broke his tibia and fibula against Ohio State in the big game and knocked him out of the playoffs and knocked him out of winning a national championship and being on the field. But he was a cornerstone. They would have been a 3-time Joe Moore Award winner if it were not for Troy Fautanu and Roger Rosengarten and Parker Brailsford and a historic 14-0 run by the Huskies all the way to the national title game, because it was UW that won that Joe Moore Award as the best group. They were the best O-line, and this guy in many ways paced the way. I had said this to G. Scott during one of the breaks earlier in the show. I said, G, you're going to like my little profile today. And you've watched more than anybody in this market. In person, you watched the team up north beat your son's team for 3 straight years. And I think you'll dig my point, because Zach Zinter and Trevor Keegan and some of those guys and those Joe Moore Award winners, Salk, unlike anybody else in college football, they made playing O-line cool. They made it like, yeah, we got the swag. This program runs through us. Our identity runs through us. Yeah, JJ's there, and Roman's there, and Blake Corum's there, and tight ends are there, and the defense is elite. But the identity of that program and why they won a national title was built on the line of scrimmage. And Zach Zinter, he was the cornerstone. He was the capstone. He was the guy that as a true freshman started it, and he finished it. He was an All-American this last year. Now, with that broken leg, he couldn't go work out. And I was talking to some scouts over the last couple days. He may be a day 3 pick, Sulk. He may be one of these that I'm talking to you and telling you like 4th round. It's not just 3 rounds, man. There's 4 rounds. There's starters into the 4th round. And you know what I really like? 6'6", 309 with 33.5-inch arms. You know what we've seen at guard for the Seahawks too often? I don't know, kind of short and stumpy and broad and big doors. I want length. I want power. I want size. This guy's got a bunch of it, and if he's sitting there because of that lower broken leg, and if he's sitting there in the late 3rd round or into that 4th round and they add that guy to this O-line, I'd be excited. That's everything you need to know about it.
Oh, man. 4th round?
Yeah, I think so. Right now, 3rd, 4th round.
3rd, 4th round.
Third,
do not
fourth
leave
round.
the draft without Zach Zinter. John, if you're listening this morning, do not leave the draft without Zach Zinter, an absolute mauler from Michigan.